welcome to WebFrame. WebFrame is a rapid web application development. WebFrame takes care of your authentication, security, organization, while you focus on your web application. WebFrame I developed a few years ago to help me with all my programming needs. It is a really cool framework. It's essentially like a WordPress for web applications. So let's get started with downloading it. So to download it, we're going to go to webfra.me and click the download WebFrame. So you have a couple of options here. If you are running a Raspberry Pi, Linux Mint, a Linux distribution based on Ubuntu or Debian, you should be good to download this source file. If you click this, it will take you to the GitHub web page, WebFrame at WebFrame, and to the latest version. And if you click that, you can go through and produce your own installation. If you're new to this and need some help, you can just download this SH file. I'm working from Pop! OS, which is a Ubuntu installation, so I can just right click here and open up a terminal and paste that in there and hit enter, and this essentially downloads a file on my system that I can run, and it will do the full installation for me. So let's try it out. So it tells me the next command I should type in here is right here. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in. And it's asking for my password. And it just runs through the full installation process for me, and I will have it on the system. Now this works as long as you're only intending to have one WebFrame site, as it will put it directly into the HTML folder and not leave room for other sites. Again, if you would like to incorporate this with other sites, you can download the source yourself or try out one of our other options. So it's completing its installation now, fixing the permissions, and while it does that, let me explain some of the other options we have. Okay, so it's all set, and it's telling me that I can go to one of these different IP addresses, and I should be able to see my site, or I could always go to localhost if it's on the machine that I just did it from. So let's give that a shot. Alright, and there's my installation. Now we can do this from Docker as well, or make a virtual machine. So let's try Docker here, okay? So if you're not familiar with Docker, it is a containerized system, and this is great especially for big businesses. Docker.com is the website, and to download it you can just go to Get Started over here and take a look down, and you can find your operating system, but download desktop and download Docker desktop, and it will find what kind of system you're using, and you just hit download Docker, and you can see they have Linux, Mac, and Windows, and you just follow those instructions and you'll have your Docker installed. Once you have Docker installed, you can just simply type in this command here, or you could visit the Docker page, and here's our Docker page, WebFrame. So it's Docker pull WebFrame. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to make another installation here using Docker, because I have Docker installed on this computer, and for me I actually have to do sudo docker on this one. So right now it is downloading the Docker installation, and essentially it's providing the operating system underneath. It's a virtualized operating system with Apache and PHP on top of it, and all the mods that you're going to need, and the copy of WebFrame. And it's just pulling those, downloading them, and it will extract. And when it's complete, it'll let us know, and we'll be able to go ahead and run our Docker installation. And it's done. So the way how we're going to do this in Docker is I'm going to change that pull to run, and we're going to run it detached. That means we're not going to see it in our terminal, and we are going to run it on port 8080. So to do that, I put in 8080 colon, and 80 is where it was originally running from. So with that command, if I hit run, it set up the instance. And now if I come over here and go localhost 8080, I have my Docker installation, and I can start going through creating the site. And to create the site, it's just this easy right here. We can simply go and put in our passwords just like this. Oops, I made that a little too long. Let me try again here. And I hit continue and complete installation. And it's created my login here, and I can log directly into the site. And here we are. And this is what WebFrame looks like on the inside. And I can make an app immediately. I just go to Developer Tools, New Project. Let's make a test project right now so you can see how to do this. And I hit Create, and let's do the basic Hello World. We start with the start.php, and I'm just going to echo Hello World right inside here. And in quotations, hit save, and there's my application ready to rock and roll. Okay, now let's go to the final type of let's go to the final way that we can install WebFrame. So we can actually download a virtual image. We have a Ubuntu long-term service 10 gigabyte server here, and it says the default login is WebFrame and the password is 12345. You should probably change that as soon as you create your instance. Right now it's hooked up to a Google Drive, so we're just going to hit download anyway. And while that's downloading, you can go ahead and check out the VirtualBox website and download a copy of VirtualBox. I already have this downloaded, but you can download this right here. It's for Linux, Mac, and Windows. And once you have that, you can open it up. Here's my copy. And we can download this VirtualBox here right in here. So let's see if our download completed. Okay, so this download is 1.2 gigs, so it takes a little time to complete. We're about half done. When it finishes, we'll go back to VirtualBox, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Import Appliance, and then just set up our own individual networking, and we should be all set. While I wait for that, let me show you a little bit more of the inside of WebFrame here. So this is where we can do our auto login, signing out, and set up our preferences and our looks and feels. We can change the background image. This is set up like a desktop. So if I want to go online and find an image that I like, so maybe I'll go to Google Images and type in forest, and I like this one right here. I can actually right click on it and say save link as, or copy image address is actually what I want. And I can go back over to my copy and paste right in here and hit Save Settings. And the next time that I log in, I should have a beautiful forest background. Also, I can change the look and feel here. So if I want a background color of pink and a page color of light blue like this, I can easily do this just by clicking on the link and saving that setting. Just that easy. And we can also name our site. So anyway, our download is done here, so I'm going to go and not open it, but I'm going to go back to our VirtualBox, and I'm going to go File, Import Appliances, and I'm going to click and find in our downloads our instance. Here it is. And I'm going to hit next, and it says, do I want to include only network adapter addresses? Okay. Yeah, I could do this, or I could generate some new ones. I'll leave it like that, and I'll leave the name, this is fine, or I can call it something else, my install. And hit import. I agree to the license, and it's loading my appliance. When this is done, I can open it up, and I will be able to run my virtual machine. In the networking, you can bridge so that you can be able to see the website both by local host or on your network. And of course, if you change some of your router settings, you can actually publish this website to the web, and we'll go over that in another video. But that would be in your port forwarding settings. So this is almost done, and this video is in real time on purpose so you can just see how easy it is for you to download. It says we have just about another minute there. So in the meantime, let me show you a little bit more here. So over here in Task Manager, I can go to any of my sites here. For instance, let's go to the admin panel where we can actually add more users, and over here I can add another user named Bob and give him a password, and make him tier 1, and it has to be a strong enough password. Let's try that again. And make him tier 1, and while we're at it, I think we need to actually set up what tier 1 is. So let's do that now. We'll go over to permissions, and we'll add a tier. And let's say that tier 1 has ability to do site builder and developer tools and terminal, but is not allowed to change these other settings. So we'll save the settings there. We can also actually give them a different hood. That's the design for the site. And I'll hit Save Settings. Okay, I can also make this full screen. Let's go and check on our download. Okay, and it looks like it's downloaded the whole way. So it's off right now. I can run this in headless, or I'm just going to do a normal start for now so that you can see how that looks. So my VirtualBox is starting up for the first time. When it finishes setting itself up, I can check the IP address on which it's coming out of, and we can go to that site. Now, depending on how I network this, it could be coming out of a internal IP address to actually like a virtual IP address, or it could be bridged to my own. There's a number of different ways we could set this up. And the one thing we didn't do here is actually set up the network settings, which is why we are stalling out right here at this point. It will eventually go through, even if it doesn't find the network here. And I'll let you play with your own network settings. To do that, you would actually go over here to network and go to Connect Network Adapter, or over here to the network settings. Open this up, and right now it's set for bridge adapter. It's having problems because I'm already running something else on this right now, one of those others. So let's see if we can save that and see if we can change this up to make this run a little better. No, I think because we're running the Docker installation and this on our local machine, it's struggling a little because you're technically not needing to do all three of these. But as I said, it will continue, and eventually it will get to the end here. And here's my login. It says WebFrame login. Remember, it's WebFrame. And the login is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm in, and this is not only a copy of WebFrame, but it's also a copy of Termabase. So to take a look at Termabase, I can just type in the command Termabase, and essentially this is like WebFrame but for the terminal. And it has a marketplace, and it has some other cool things you can do here. Here's a base times height app just for you to try out. What is the base of your rectangle? Let's say 5, and let's say it has a height of 10. And there you go. So that's just a sample of the kind of stuff that that program can do. I'm going to type in ifconfig, and it will show me my IP address. And as we said before, because of the slow loading there, It's showing you the 127.0.01. That is just your local host. That doesn't mean anything to us. We want the Inet 6, but it didn't produce another IP address for us because I didn't set up all the adapter settings, the network adapter settings. So that just hopefully is a nice brief intro to installing WebFrame and a basic show of how to use it. The only other thing I'll show you just before we go here is just to set up the front of your site. So here is our index.php page. It says hello world. Let's have it say something about us. So how about I just call it my site, for instance. And it's totally customizable in here. You can set it up any way you want, but we're just going to say my site. I'm going to update this. I'm going to publish this. And let's take a look at the front of our site now. And there it is, my site. All right, hopefully this was informative. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.